I know there are something like 5 components and 20 principles that are supposed to provide management and the board with this framework to better understand and be able to manage risk around strategy and objectives. But I get the sense from your reading that you don't think the framework is really complete. There might be some key things missing. And I think you just touched on some. Are there others that might be missing in the framework?
Well, the most important one is it talks about decision making, but there's 0 principles around decision making.
Okay.
Including, do you have reliable information to support your decisions? Are the right people involved? What about all the people that might be affected by your decision? Are they involved? So there are a lot of things that are missing from there, which are really critical to me in terms of understanding the management of risk. And again, to me, it's all about context. Okay, we are trying to achieve success. We are trying to achieve our objectives. We're trying to set the right strategies, execute on them to meet our earnings targets, remain in compliance, satisfy our community as well as our other stakeholders. But when it talks about prioritizing the things that might happen, which they call risks, it tries to put dollar values around them. It tries to put other things instead of how will this affect what I'm trying to do? And to me, it's all about the journey of where we are to where we need to go. And what's going to affect my success or failure of getting there, maybe even earlier than I wanted to, that I need to be there so I can do some other things. Maybe I have an opportunity to exceed my target. If there's an opportunity to exceed my target, why am I not considering that? Why am I not building up the capacity to do that? So I think there's a lot that's missing in terms of, like I said, if they just sat down instead of thinking about risk, and if they talked about success and performance and achieving objectives, I think you'd have got a different document. Now, you and I both know Doug Anderson at the IIA, and I don't know whether you saw his recent article that was published, and he talks about this much, much better. And my comment to him was, Doug, I wish you'd been the author instead of simply an advisor to COSO, because he's getting it right. He's talking about different situations. Am I going to enter into this contract, or am I going to expand? I'm going to build this new product, and what might happen? And it's a structured and thoughtful process of thinking about what might happen in the future, and then deciding whether that's okay or not. And what am I going to do about it if it's not? That is risk management for me.
One of the things I think you believe in is education for our board members and our senior leaders in our company. And you mentioned a minute ago this COSO executive summary. If you had a busy board member, busy top executive, and you wanted to educate them about enterprise risk management, would you personally give them that executive summary to help do that? If not, why?
No, I would not, because I don't think they're going to come away with the right understanding of what risk management is. Yes, it has some good words talking about things like culture, but risk culture is such a difficult concept to get your arms around that I don't think it really matters. I think a board member should be thinking about this, okay? If someone does something wrong, let's say your daughter does something wrong and comes to you and says, I'm sorry, Dad, I did something wrong. And you look at them and say, that was so stupid. What were you thinking? And the truth is they probably weren't thinking. And if, from my point of view, I would talk to a board member and say, it's all about making sure that management was thinking before they did anything. What were they thinking? Did they actually think through what they're trying to do? What might happen? Is that okay or not? And then how can we monitor, after we're taking some action, how can we monitor that it was still on path to do something? And if we just stop talking about risk management and enterprise risk management and start talking about how can we be more careful and considerate and thoughtful in our decision making, we'll get to where we need to go.